I was like, is that it? That's gotta be it.
That's definitely the old colonial or white building.
Yeah.
Tudor style.
I didn't see Carmen Miranda though.
But this might be the front you were describing somewhat. Because this would be the main entrance. Actually, we're at the back entrance where we park.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. It gave me the impression of being looming, and like.
Yeah, it's like, whoa!
Yeah.
There's your double doors.
Yep. I was telling Jake that I got the sense that it was looming, and like from where you're standing there, it is looming. There certainly seems to be like presence here where you're almost like, I should be respectful and quiet, like a library.
So Kelly, room 1, what sorts of hauntings and paranormal stuff happen here? I know you were saying earlier about a Hatman type spirit.
Yes, my Slender Man.
Yeah.
Well, he's all over the place, but he seems to be more concentrated down in this area, this room in particular. The room next door is also part of one, but this room particularly he hangs around with. Well, I can't say I don't like him, but I don't hate him. I don't like him. It's just, I'd rather not be in here when I know he's here. It's just the feeling. I don't like someone looking over my shoulder or overpowering me, like not overlooking me, taller than me looking down.
Now, one story I'd like to talk about a little more, we talked about it previously, but not very much, is Edie Ray's Cafe. I know there's been incidences in there and people have seen spirits in there in the daytime.
The most recent one, what were we doing? I was doing a repair on the kitchen sink in the dish pit, we call it. And I had the hose, the whole contraption taken apart, set in a bin, turn my head, go into the restaurant to get a drink or whatever, come back and a piece is missing. So we spent probably a good 45 minutes looking for this piece, and I swear to God, it was in the parts bin right where I'm working at. Nope, we took everything apart. We went into the dishwasher itself, maybe fell in the dishwasher, looked. Nope. Go back into the restaurant to do something else, come back in, and my waitress Kendra says, "Look what I found," right in the parts bin.
Wow.
So, of course, they're back to our little tricks again. We are on traditional Clahaman territory, so, the land is very sacred to our First Nations. It could be, who knows? I heard stories about ley lines, and, they sometimes, when they intersect, there is, extra special things happen in those areas, but there's nothing that really runs through Powell River per se, except for the river. And my understanding, I've been hearing I've been talking to a lot of locals now, and actually they're letting me in, there might be some sort of explanation to everything because of the location of the river. I understand there is some sort of some powerful vortex or something at the mouth of the river that is contributing to a lot for the area. Who knows? The First Nations, this was their village site for thousands of years before the settlers came in, so we don't really know the true history. Who knows?
With the settlers, was it a forced relocation?
From what I'm hearing, yes, it was a forced relocation for the mill. They were said to clear the land. This is for the mill.
Now, with this investigation,
Mhm.
where do you think we should focus tonight?
For tonight, for us, just, let's do a full investigation of one. We've seen so much happen on 6 and even downstairs. Let's see what the sandwich is. See if there is something, because everything happens right below us and right above us. And of course, my Slender Man, but he's been seen throughout the inn. He used to come visit me in my suite a lot years ago, or quite a few years ago, but he's just moved on, so maybe he's decided to settle down here. This is his space. I have no idea.
Now, you've worked at the courthouse for how long?
I've been here for 7 years.
7 years, so I assume you've heard a lot of ghost stories, maybe experienced a few ghost stories.
I've heard a lot and I've experienced a couple things, but nothing too weird or anything like that.
What have you experienced?
I've just been locked in a room before. I've had spoons thrown at me, but not like full on at me as opposed to my cook. And eerie feelings, like my hairs go on the back of my neck, goes up and everything like that. Just nothing too odd, but...
What room were you locked in?
Room 3 here.
Room 3. Okay. There's been a lot of activity in that room actually over the last couple of years and when we've been here to investigate. What sort of stories have you heard out of room 3?
Just that they feel like they're getting watched and that certain things will be moved of theirs. Like with my one hotel guest that's here quite a bit, he's here on months. He says that his stuff has been moved, but that's about it so far.
And when you had a spoon thrown at you, what happened? What were you doing?
Cutting potatoes.
In Edie Ray's kitchen?
Yes. I was the only one in there. My cook was outside having his smoke, and I was cutting the potatoes for him, and I thought it was him playing a trick on me. He wasn't around. I looked around. Nothing.
With all these experiences, do you feel the courthouse is haunted?
Oh, yeah.
How many spirits do you think are here?
So far, I think at least the lady, I call her Lady Rose because it smells like roses at certain times. And I'm pretty sure there's a judge because of certain cigars and a little kid. That's what I think.
What area of the hotel creeps you out the most?
Basement.
The basement. Because it's a basement or the things you've heard?
Things I've heard. It's just old staff members that have been here. They've been locked in the basement. It's gone all dark for them. All the lights have been shut off.
I don't even want to say the air's thicker. It feels like there's something pressing on you a little bit. Yeah, this feels like they certainly feel like this is their space. I don't think I would sleep on that side of the bed. And over here feels a little weird. Yeah, like right here. My advice in staying in this room? Yeah, I would sleep here so you can see the room. Pillow fort it. I'm wondering if there's more than one energy in here. Because it's weird that it's kind of coming from 2 different directions. Like it's dimmer in here, it's darker in here, it's heavier in here. From a technical standpoint, I just wonder about, like, have you guys investigated the wiring or done EMF work in here because I would just be curious to see what those readings were. And I wonder if they just have issues with keeping things working in here, whether that's the plumbing or the electrical or something, where it's just like, you know, there's more maintenance needed in this corner than anywhere else. It seems like a male energy. I were to describe it, it feels like you don't want to turn your back on it. You want to be able to see it. Like, got to keep your eye on it. If you're keeping your eye on it, you're not going to have any problems. Like, it's not going to misbehave. But the second you turn your back, or say you're sleeping, or like in the middle of the night, you wake up and because you heard something, like you heard something fall. I'm getting the impression that, yeah, it likes to stay in here. But at the same time, we wouldn't be surprised. Like, this is favorite spot, you know. That doesn't mean it's confined, but this definitely. I wonder if, you know, it could be a stagnant energy flow too, where it's just collecting in here. Yeah, it was just I had been describing green and blue carpet with like beigey golds in it. But it was coming through to me like it's diamond shaped. Oh, I've forgotten about that. Yeah, I had the impression of like some like a woman startlingly standing there. Like, is there a mannequin here? But
Close.
yeah, it's life size.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. You can definitely get the sense of history. I don't feel like it's not welcoming in any way. It seems very, hospitality type of. What's in there?
What kind of... Are you getting something out of 6?
A couple of these rooms, actually. The energy between these two is interesting.
Are you talking 9?
Yeah. You get down here and you're like, oh, someone's standing here. But, oh, wait, there. Watch your back. Wait, what? It'd be interesting to know where I'm staying. Are these open? Can we go in? It looks like it's just. Yeah, this would be an interesting space to stay in. You don't feel like you're on your own in here. I wouldn't be surprised if like someone worked in here and kind of walked back and forth a lot. Maybe that was their way of thinking. Yeah, this would be a good room to sit and stay in and kind of absorb. I was definitely getting the impression of dolls, so it's kind of delightful to see them here. You can really feel the energy flow of the hallway. I get the impression that there's some energy that likes to hang out on the stairs a little bit. I'd be interested in knowing if anyone has felt that or heard that. Okay, 3. I'm getting more of a female vibe in this room. It feels a little bit lighter, like, and it has a feminine touch to it. But that doesn't mean it's the only, moving energy throughout this place. But someone at some point in the past who stayed here liked to make things. Or maybe like needlework or crocheting or something. It was like they're in a loving kind of caregiving kind of way. I wouldn't be surprised if someone who just had a really great creative touch, a lot of different variety of interests in their life, was attached to this property at some point. Yeah, I think that if anyone ever encounters something in here, I don't think they mean it to startle and be malevolent. It just, it's startling when we encounter something we're not expecting, or it's unknown, an unknown source. Yeah, interesting. This room makes me anxious. Like this, you sleep in here, you get nightmares. Oh man. I feel like there could really be some restless energy. Someone who lived here before didn't have the best attitude. Even if there were good things going on, they would focus on what was going wrong. I almost feel as if the living come in this room now and something is a little bit more aggressive, like almost jealous. Yeah, at the very least, it feels very oppressive. But I think it's based in anxiety and negativity. Okay. It definitely feels like something is hanging out down here. Brought a little guy that will fit perfectly in here. It kind of looks like the inn. I think this is another space that as energy comes through, it kind of snags here and it collects here. Someone feels lost in this space. It's like the cold is settling on my arms and my hands. I get the impression of someone hiding something in here. Wow.
So we are in room 6, night 1 of our investigation at the Old Courthouse Inn, and right here you'll see I call it the gadget minefield. So I want to talk to who's ever in here that made those steps. It's funny, Jen picked up on a lot of stuff in this room. And previously, like I said, we've had the footsteps. I've asked this door to be open and open on cue, multiple occasions. So, if you're here with us, you unlatch and open the door. Now we go lights out. What's your name? How does it make you feel that we brought somebody that can sense you and communicate with you? Kelly's been doing a lot of renovations here, a lot of changes, a lot of new furniture, a lot of old furniture. Are you happy with it? Are you happy with the changes of this building? Can you give us your name? I'm going to take this SP7 Spirit Box with speaker. You can talk to us through this. Use your words through the frequencies. What does... Did the lantern?
It flickered.
Can you make that? Can you touch that lantern again? Can you make it go blue? Can you do that again? Thank you. That was from in here. That was obviously outside. Is there any noise in the washroom? Or it's room 1, which is below us, which is locked.
I can go down there and see what's happening since it's my room.
But if you do want to talk to us, what we need you to do is touch the lantern again. You've touched it 4 or 5 times now. Why not a 6th? Touch it. Come bug us. Bug me right now. Keep bugging us. Again. Do you like the lantern? I smell the smoke now. Jen was talking about earlier. It's quite strong. It smells like the rolly type. Like old time tobacco. But since there's not much happening in here, what I think we should do is we should close our session and see what Jake's up to and see what he found, because he's been gone for quite some time now. Jake.
We didn't die.
Yeah, we did die.
Was there any drama?
Tiny. A tiny bit.
It was his drama, though.
Jake, what happened?
You gotta say?
Okie doke. So what happened was, we heard the weird thumps,
Yes.
and they would come from this area, though where you were standing, because this is 6 above us, so you would have been standing across right that area, and I went into this side of the room. I came down and I figured, call in the big gun.
Yeah.
So I walked in this room. And what happened is when I walked in through the door frame, as soon as I entered, it felt like someone grabbed my heart and I had pressure on my temples like this. But pretty much we said, hi, open the door, apologize for the mess, and then everything went away.
Wow.
So let's set an intention,
Sounds good.
okay? We have this planchette in front of me with a writing implement attached to it. If there is anyone in this room who would like to communicate with us through this, we are in room 1 of the Old Courthouse Inn, and you're welcome to communicate by guiding my hand.
See, I don't feel great in here either, and this feels kind of weird. Flux 2 just went off.
Oh, we have a camera on it.
Is that you in the purple room? We invite you to come into room 1.
It's red.
What does that mean?
No. Or it's passing by on the right side.
Jennifer, are you feeling anything?
It feels like a flowy energy. When you asked if it was the same as last time, it felt like a no.
Looks like a Gary. Harry. What do you see?
Yeah. Gary. Maybe Jerry. Yeah, it's hard to tell. There's a lot of...
I would like to speak to the spirit that I talked to the last time I was here. Can you please come in here? Let us know that you're here.
Something happened to the camera. Died.
Mm.
How was the battery on it?
1 hour, 39 minutes.
So it just died.
It's at 1 hour, 10 minutes.
Was it shut off?
It shut off.
Did you turn off Jake's camera? Did you die here?
I'm gonna get the dowsing rods while you ask questions.
Did you die in this room? How did you die?
Jen, did you say something?
No, she said nothing.
I was in here and I just got a DVP.
How did you die?
Jen, did you say something?
You want us to come in there?
No, I would say keep what you're doing, but I could hear it. I thought it was you, Jen, saying die.
I did not say that. The energy I feel is the sense I'm getting is dead end, stuck, kind of railroaded in here, nowhere else to go.
Green.
So did it pass by you?
It's it would be crossing on the right.
Panel lantern just went off. Where would you like to go?
I think that's a frustrating question. Because if he had an answer, he would have it, and he would do it.
Makes sense. I have no clue what the rods are doing.
It feels like they're being pressed down on.
That's what it looks looks like.
Yeah, like they're being held.
Did you throw things at staff here? There's a pain behind it.
I feel like he thought that was funny.
Did he hurt my ear?
No, the throwing.
Well, that's... Oh my god.
I think he was fired.
Did you get fired and drink yourself to death?
Red, no.
Do the other spirits interact with you?
No, I think it feels like when you put two wrong ends of the magnet together and they repel each other. It feels like that.
We'd love to talk to anyone in here.
Well, that was interesting.
These are feeling really heavy.
What was that, Jake?
It came from the closet. Can you open it and take a look?
It came from the closet, and then we just heard a noise out here.
It came from the closet. And it came from the closet. And it came from the closet. And you open it.
That noise out there was weird.
It was like a... Was it like a barky growl? What was that reaction?
These feel like they're being pressed up against me.
Do you feel it's Gerald?
I honestly don't know.
What emotions do you feel?
Just heavy. Oppressed.
Who's making Jennifer feel like that? Can you at least tell her who you are? What was your thoughts on that?
I thought it was really interesting that I just got this very consistent sense of this movement that ended here and this dead end and being stuck and there is no point and frustration and even being suggested of there might be some kind of solution to something, that seemed very apparent. Yeah, but at the end there, it almost felt like,
We're done here.
yeah.
So last year when we were here, we were told that this cabinet may be haunted. And an experiment we did was we put a REM pod inside it. And that's facing here.
Yeah?
And it would go off all hours of the night at certain times. And it would go off to basically us asking it to go off.
Interesting.
So I think for our final experiment tonight, you're going to be doing automatic writing and drawing. Max is going to be doing some live listening for live EVPs. Jake is requiring the Obulus 5 be used for this final session to see if...
Yes, I am.
to see if spirits want to use that to talk to us. We also have the Flux 2 on the floor, which went off towards the said haunted cabinet. So I'm going to turn the REM pod on, and we're going to put it in the exact spot that we put one last year. I was told last year that there is a spirit in and around this inn that kind of scares or silences the other spirits of the inn. And that may be the spirit who does the bad, like the pinning or the startling.
Yeah, it sounds right to me. At least
That makes sense now, actually.
it feels like that spirit came in. It might not have been the same one the whole time.
Right.
But yeah, what happened at the end where the rods they were like being pushed down on me,
Yeah.
and it went quiet after that. It felt like everything was being suppressed.
There's footsteps upstairs.
Room 6.
It wasn't directly above us. It was like down the hall.
What's the last year you remember?
I got 1949.
1949? Who's talking to us? What happened in 1949? There's been a lot of fatalities at the mill. Are there any mill workers here with us?
Was there ever an accident at the mill
Yes.
with logs falling?
It wasn't logs falling.
No.
Some men died putting up the smokestacks.
Did something collapse or did they fall?
I don't recall.
They fell.
They fell?
Mm-hmm.
They're Italian.
I don't know if the scaffolding collapsed or the ropes.
Yeah, I'm seeing something like cascade, which is why I asked about the logs.
There's been a lot of fatalities there over the years. I wouldn't be surprised. We could look into it.
Just thinking about it, I wonder if there's a spirit that blames themselves for that accident. Like they didn't do something properly.
So the last date you remember is 1949. What's your last memory of being alive? Can you tell us that?
I'm wondering if the accident, one of the first things I saw was like rope and linkage and like something at fault there. And when we look at some of my doodles, it's kind of the first thing that I did when I sat down.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting the impression of a guy with like a cap on, I don't know what they're called. They look like newsy caps,
Fedora?
like a soft hat that has a little brim in the front.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. Newspaper boys back in the day would wear them.
yeah. I mean, they're not newspaper boy age, but wearing that.
It's like what the golfers wear today.
Exactly, yeah. It's almost like I'm seeing a photograph of him and a bunch of other guys smiling. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like it's a mill photo or something.
Do you think there's a lot of wandering spirits around here based on the hospital, the mill?
And like the transient energy that I was feeling downstairs the other night. I think when you give things attention, anything could wander in if it's close by. It's like we're setting up beacons.
Absolutely. That might be how this last person.
Mm-hmm. It's the hospital's nearby, the mill is nearby. There's just a lot of history in this town.
So we just finished our session in here, and we're talking about an incident that could have happened in 1949 that you wrote on there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the date today?
April 20th?
It's now the 21st.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true. After
I'm
midnight.
gonna go ahead and hand you over the phone.
Okay.
You can just read it.
The Powell River mill accident occurred on April 21st, 1949. at the Powell River paper mill in Powell River, British Columbia, Canada. The accident was a boiler explosion that killed 17 people and injured 30 others. The explosion occurred in the mill's number 10 recovery boiler, which was used to recover chemicals from wood chips. The boiler was shut down for maintenance, and the workers were performing a routine inspection when it suddenly exploded, sending debris flying hundreds of feet and causing extensive damage to the mill.
Holy shit.
That's now. Like,
Today.
You're right. That is insane.
Yeah.
Wow. I felt the need to bring a teeny stuffed animal with me on this adventure, and it's quite fitting to put it in the dollhouse. Yeah. If there's anyone here in this space with me, I invite you to come close. I'm receiving a couple different impressions in this room. Impressions of coming in and hiding, or hiding objects in here, or things being taken away and put in here. Feels like different levels, different times. There's a spirit here. Feel free to come closer. You don't have to hang out back there. You can come over here. Is that your preferred area over there? As far away from the door as you can. I'm sensing fear and anger. It's more than one person. Someone took something from someone else and they want it back. You can come closer if you like. My hands feel cooler. I said that and it got even cooler. Is there a George here? Is George your name?
If there's any spirits in or around here, I need you to come talk to me. We have devices on the ground. We have a gadget minefield again. We have the REM pod down here. And behind us we have the paralantern and the flux too. So if there are spirits here and you want to come talk to us, all you gotta do is this. Walk by it. And we'll sense it. Is the spirit... Could that have been me? I don't think so. I feel a little dizzy, actually. Can you pop this? I want to talk to the person who scratched me. Is that you? Do it again. You're here with us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Did they transfer you to Vancouver? Because you're a bad guy? Give me one word of what you did. Holy shit. Thank you. So you're on my left side. So you're here with us. Walk closer to me, please. I can't hear you. So you're pacing right there. Come pace to this purple rope. I feel really uneasy in here right now. Where are you? I just felt something fucking beside me. By the dollhouse. Can you touch that purple light again? If you want me to leave this room, touch that light. Wow. That's confirmation. We're not really welcomed in this room. We will respect your wishes. And we will leave.
Hello? 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 You have a visitor. I hope that's okay. I thought we could talk. I thought it would be a lovely idea to invite the spirit in this room to have tea with me this evening and talk a little bit about who she is and details about her life. And for this, I thought what would be more perfect for tea than using herbs that are really great for spirit communication. Tonight I have mugwort and mullein, as well as wormwood. And because those aren't very traditional teas, I brought some rose petals and lavender to kind of make it a little more floral and welcoming. Rose petals are great for love, wit, and glamour, and who doesn't want that in their life? And lavender is actually a very welcoming component to let a spirit know that they are welcome in this space. So if there is a spirit in the room with me, I welcome you to come close and enjoy a spot of tea with me. And as I let that steep, I thought we could have a little tarot reading. Tea and tarot. I'm going to cleanse and dedicate this deck for the spirit communication in this moment. I ask that the spirit come close and communicate through these cards if you wish to do so. And from there, I wait until I feel a pull from any certain card in the deck. That is the Seven of Swords. Two of Coins. Let me see if there's one more feeling. This one. Oh. Ten of Swords. This is interesting. Okay. I get the impression that the woman in this space, she ran this establishment while she was here, and she took a lot of care and love and energy to do so. But these cards also indicate that it wasn't always easy. Seven of Swords, she was dealing with a lot of perhaps difficult situations and people where maybe discretion was needed, and maybe at times she had to deal with details and activities and behavior that was going on behind her back when, she just wanted to run a lovely establishment and care for the patrons that were here, but everyone comes in with their own agenda, and you're never quite sure what those motives are. So she was constantly with the people coming in and out. It was a news story every day, and she would have to navigate that. But with the Two of Coins, she made it look easy. She was really good at what she did. And it wasn't all bad all the time. I don't want to give that impression, but with all those different moving parts, you have to have mental focus, energy for days, and the ability to multitask and spin those plates, maybe even literally. And with that being the center card here, her personality and her strengths all align to keep everything moving, keep it working well. But with the Ten of Swords, there was some grief and loss there at the end. And maybe that's one of the reasons why she's still here. And with that, let's see if the tea is ready. her energy is kind of sparkly and like sparks. I feel a bit of a temperature change. It's a little bit cooler. It's very subtle. I feel like she would like me to pull one more card. Let me see. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Okay. Page of Coins. Again, I think she's saying yes. Yes to that energy that I was talking about. Yes to the creativity and the imagination. She dreamed. She dreamed big. And I think she had a little bit of a daredevil feel to her. She wasn't meek. I bet if I knew her, I'd have a hard time keeping up with her. But still, she has a kind heart, and I feel the energy in this room is very welcoming and very kind. I think there's such a melody of different energies mingling here that it's surprising how well they play together. Some seem to stay over in room 1. I think that's a completely different energy than what's over here in room 3. And then again, what's upstairs in the upper bedrooms, in the upper rooms. I don't feel as if things are going to settle down anytime soon. I think that this property has settled into a system of things, like an equilibrium of energy that is happy to be here, and it works. Whether that's the energy layout of the building or the energies that have settled here have found their places, and it's just this situation that seems to work for it. But it's consistent in the fact that the layers always seem to be there. What space you're in, or what's flowing at the moment, it's almost as if it starts to become very familiar and not predictable, but you recognize it. And I think that it's going to be that way for a long time. I think the energies are aware of each other. And it's almost like you stay in your space, I'll stay in mine. If we happen to bump into each other, that's okay. But it's like, I like it over here. To me, it feels like the energies have reached an agreement that just happens to organically work in the space, where it's like, fine, I want to be over here. Okay, I like this space. This is mine. This is mine. And it just happens to all fit into place. My love letter to the inn would be, first off, it's delightful to share in the experience that is happening here. And like I said, it starts to feel a little familiar. In returning here, it would be like visiting friends or people that I met on this adventure. And my love letter is, you don't have to change if you don't want to. And I'm also grateful that it's at the level that it is at. It's not aggressive, even though there's a range of emotion here. So it's almost as if it's expressing itself, but it's not being domineering about it. And I really appreciate that it can, you can feel everything, but it's not aggressive about it. And it's just really, it's just seems like such a unique experience, because a lot of times you think when you're going into a space that has some volatile energy or a range of emotions like we do as humans, that, oh, it's going to be black or white, but it's just this really neat blend and array of different expressions. Thank you for inviting me to be here. It has been just a wonderful, magical, mysterious, haunting experience.